Achamo akwa baby Adom TV so ne oti enka wo radio so high asempa 94.7 FM. Na otwe dwumadie na yeguso a yede somo join yen wo Facebook Adom TV wo Facebook na fe fa comment fa to afi asempa 94.7 FM so wo Facebook obetime do comment ato na fe agibre de amount yen hya free NDC amayukuo no ene Nnawotwe entre ha wono age no mayim esan satraya womo aye no wo the leadership of the minority caucus ewo mrahye bedwafie asem ne beto dwasa no ye wo videos bi a ye ba bebo na fe yahwe mpanifo adwencha oma ekyereye the edikan the national chairman for the NDC Owura Johnson Esedu enketia wo de ensem bakomienu etudwa ewia mpanifo wo honso so oma dwenkyere efa san satraye hu yenkohwe ye ba.
We've issued a letter from headquarters signed by the General Secretary, the new General Secretary, Honorable Fifi Fiavi Kote, communicating formally to Mr. Speaker changes that we have made in our front line in Parliament. That is indeed true. And the new changes will bring on board Dr. Kesela Tuforsen as the new minority leader, Honorable Ama Kufibwa as the new deputy minority leader, and Honorable Governors Kwame Agboja as the new chief whip. And then we maintained Honorable Doyo Ganza and Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim. So this make up the new list of leadership in Parliament.
There's the obvious question as to why the NDC is taking the decision now.
We started reorganization of our structures to be able to position ourselves to fight election 2024. And in terms of why, it means what it tells you is that the only constant thing in nature is change. And so since the environment is changing, leadership and many other things must change along the new environment. We know, for instance, that going into election 2024, the economy is going to be the major battleground. And so many of the debates and other discussions will focus on the economy. So we better put your best man in the economy forward. And that is what we've done. And then we also looked at energy, you know, this petroleum and electricity challenges. And so we needed to settle on Kofi Amabua, our former minister, to be the deputy minority leader. And then the other area is infrastructure, and Kwame Agboja being our man in infrastructure should play a key role. So that generally is what informed the changes. But there are other things that are coincidental. You take the leadership of Parliament, we are bound to organize ourselves in such a way that by and large, we provide for regional balance and other balances in our ways of doing things. And so since it is very difficult to get representation of 16 regions in 5 appointments, you need to do a lot of mathematics. And our view is that the balance cannot be secured with only one segment of the party. So the elections have turned out certain leaders. We already have other leaders that are already existing. And then also, if we are doing appointments, we take all these as a whole to try and see how we can get a fair balance. When you look at Western region, it's one region that has not been represented on the front bench for a long while. I remember when we were in 92 thereabout, 93 thereabout, that we put somebody on the front bench for a while, and that ended it. So it's a significant region that we need to look at. So when we got the combination of Kofi Amabua from Western region, and he being also very conversant with the energy sector, we thought that it was a good choice, so we put him there.
I have held fruitful and positive conversation, in fact, frank conversation, with my senior brother, the Honorable Haruna Idrisu. I commended him for his admirable leadership and stewardship when he was granted the opportunity by a great party to lead us. As leader, it will be my duty to represent our collective goals in particular, with an unwavering dedication, and most importantly, with high integrity. I have no doubt that with the support of the entire minority caucus in Parliament, we shall succeed.
Speak to the issues as they are, and two, indicating that the leadership of the minority caucus has been reshuffled. We are on recess. By the Speaker's invitation, we are returning on the 7th of February 2023. So we are not yet in the House. But because of the exigencies of this situation, that is why some of us have rushed back to be able to participate in this. Against that background too, is this when the Speaker reads the letter to Parliament, the letter he has received from the Secretary of the party that indicating the reshuffle. It is when that letter is read to members of the House that it can take effect. As at now, we are already said we are not there. So as far as we are concerned, the current leaders of the House, Honorable Haruna Idrisu Muntaka and co, are deemed to still be in office. Now, the purpose of this press conference, as I've indicated, is to try to maintain cohesion in the party, is to try to ensure that we remain as a body, that we still are an appealing group to the Ghanaian populace, and that they should trust us for December 2024. So our petition is going to the Council of Elders of the NDC. We are petitioning the Council of Elders of the NDC with a copy to the National Executive, with a copy to the Speaker of Parliament, and a copy of the said petition to the former flag bearer, Honorable John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. The basis for our petition is a prayer to suspend the reshuffle indicated by the National Executive of the party until such time, signed by the General Secretary of the party. The petition is signed by the General Secretary of the party. The basis of our petition is to appeal to them to suspend the suspension exercise until such time that there's a holistic meeting of stakeholders and consultation before we take a decision. We are saying so against the backdrop that the National Executive Committee of the party a few weeks ago decided that all appointees in the party and in Parliament should remain in office until after we have concluded the parliamentary primaries and the flag bearer primaries on the 13th of May this year. That all office holders and appointees should remain in office until the primaries are over. We are therefore surprised that the primaries are not yet taken place, they are not yet over, and a reshuffle is hitting the caucus of Parliament. We think that that is premature. We have also investigated and discovered that the Functional Executive Committee, FEC, and the National Executive Committee, NEC, including the Council of Elders, did not have a formal meeting to take a decision on this matter. And then, of course, the caucus as a body was not consulted on this matter. And we think that that is quite not well in place. It is against the backdrop of this that we are humbly appealing to the National Executive of the party that they should suspend their current action and let the current officers, Haruna and his team, remain in office until such time that the primaries are over and we have a holistic stakeholder consultation before we decide on the way forward. In that case, the current executive that we, as I said, are still in office, should remain in office and steer the affairs of the caucus until such time that we advise ourselves. We want to pledge our support to the party. We are committed to the party. We are committed to the focus of the caucus to assist the party in the coming elections in December 2024 so that we can form government. So we are saying this without prejudice to the merits of those who have been appointed. No. We know that we are all members of parliament, we are all competent. Dr. Foster Ato, and then Kwame Aboja, and then Ama Abua are very good parliamentarians. We have nothing against them. We trust them. But we are saying that the timing is not appropriate. The timing for a reshuffle now is not appropriate. And that the consequences are very, very grave for us and could negatively affect our fortunes come December 2024. It is against this background, the fact that there was no adequate and proper consultation within the ranks of the party, that we think that they should reconsider and suspend the current reshuffle until such time that we hold a meeting. Thank you very much.
Well, just to add.
Okay, you could say the national chairman, the newly appointed minority leader, so Kasa, but my big Akwaba, yeah, say Anthony Nupenu, who is the Greater Accra Regional Organizer of the NDC, Babe Kai Onafe, Yatritrain and Komo, but near Mesaka is say, next nation or a member of the NPP communications team. Next thing, good morning.
TJ, good morning.
Bibi Aboko there.
Nyame Adom Bibi Aboko.
You remember saying?
Ojuma Mboko.
Bibi Akoso.
Yeah,
Nyame ase. And then come on hopa. Nia ye dey sha say NDC for one more changes on my year the minority leadership in parliament. Ye sha say free the party chairman the reasons are or the mind for Sansa Chayeno or more ayeno. She said 2024 abatu na ye kwa akoto no. Niema mienu a ye behye da gina so ebedi akotene pa the economy and afi energy. The reason why omaye sansa chaye no the Dr. Kisela to forcing aba na afi honorable Emmanuel Amakufibua and so aba, and then he comes to talk about regional balance and also a play pa yen family and chance na afi yen kwenim. Next thing.
Yeah, CJ mami fa kwenya nchia President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia for Jumapa or Yamai. Some few days ago, now there was public outcry, say President in here reshuffle on your day. But after taking time from the busy schedule, maybe there will be chance for people to also come and serve. I'm the 2 years awake. Into in the coming days, President the list in the barber.
Once you mentioned it,
probably during the week.
Week okay.
Something.
When specifically, if you have
it could be Monday to Wednesday.
Between Monday to Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, better be BFE president one because we would order or map up another strategy. I mean, going into 2024, now you to me win a seat again. CJ, I'm really disappointed in Chairman General or General Mosquito. In painful dia mantemante. Inti say ye bibi na edabwa ukwa edanoa. You need to be subjective. Na ubia ojina bibia we hu there no. Whatever motive you have no, it is for the greater good. On intinaya, yewo GSS na yesua bibi there's a group interest and there's a personal interest. Inti say ye group interest it far outweighs that of the personal interest. Inti say if you have a mindset as a group and you want to project a certain agenda or a certain cause, they're going into this particular election. These are the benchmarks. Then you should juxtapose that with the previous election. That is 2020
election. Okay.
They are going into 2020 now. These were the benchmarks. And because of that, we failed. So we want to go here. Now, say, Amayen Bibia on that. Now, say, you just jump to set out the criteria for your own agenda without the collective goal of the party. Then you are not doing the collective interest of the party, but rather trying to kind of score political points. Now, see, in baby, that means right after the vetting of the second batch of the ministers in the second term of President Nnawotwe Akufo-Addo, on the 4th of March 2021, Sammy Gyamfi made a bold statement on his Facebook page where he had to run down the speaker and the leadership of the NDC in Parliament, specifically Honorable Aruna and Muntaka. Obondi, not the true statement, you know. And that alone should tell you that someone was behind that statement that was coming from their national communication officer.
Why not actually?
Oh, that is Mr. President, former President John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency. Yes, because Sammy Gyamfi would never go on that tangent if there was no big hand holding him to do that. And everyone in the party knows that that day in particular, he refused to pick up all the calls from the MPs. That what was the basis of that particular post? Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim, Tama, then the General Secretary vying for the chairmanship position, or ne campaign launch. Okakade, Honorable Aruna Idusu, no kodoba campaign launch on. But because of the other parliamentary duties to Mwamba, na ose all the parliamentary caucus, they were behind General Mosquito's candidature. Right after that, Honorable Aruna issued a statement debunking that claims made by Ahmed Ibrahim, that it is not true, and that they wanted a fair ground for both parties. They won't call. Now, what bar that the minority group will support the winner. In turn, no starting. Just then, and General Mosquito who there, as a chairman of the party now, I cannot work with Honorable Aruna and then Muntaka. Now, CJ, say pede etna sina make changes you would have to sit with NEC and then the caucus. The same way I want to aba ma Honorable Aruna winning. No General Mosquito then, who was the General Secretary, or yet the Electoral Commissioner or Parliament House. Why didn't he follow the same processes? Now you to me, Yankade, okay, fine. Based on in 2020, after the elections, now you elect say your leaders there won't be take over my we are using the same strategy now. But you want to move away from the normal processes. And with that, all the MPs are saying that they were not consulted. Now, it's national executives, it's from Yamin, Fifi Kweti, and Kasana. There is no offending cogent reasons adduced from one decision I will take because it has to do with Mr. Mohammed's preference and General Mosquitoes. But
we shouldn't also forget NDC as a party, the constitution.
Yeah.
If there's any binding constitutional proof, and Bibisa say as the national chairman, the constitution says this is how we should go about electing or maybe appointing leaders for the minority caucus. And a national chairman, then maybe we can hold him. But from what you are saying, there's no proof. BBN Honoma Echre said the national chairman, as the national chairman, is bound by the constitution.
CJ, Mamika Bibi Incho.
Me too.
Oh, yeah, Honorable Daniel Nekwate Titus Glover. They're not chain BB. No, see. When you are given a role, or when you are appointed or elected, one more specific guidelines in Yamebu Tumaye. But you need to go beyond the box. That is where a teacher, one more assignment. About more good. Oh, you've gone beyond the box, sir. Or say, let me give you excellent. The fact that it is not explicit that this is how you should go about it does not mean that you should not allude yourself to certain processes. Maybe this is what you want to do. Let me reason with the neck and our people involved and see the best football club and national team.
I don't know on what authority you quoted Honorable Titus Glover in this case.
No, or train processes are. You've been given an appointment or you've been elected. It does not mean that today, I am not home. To take over.
Titus Glover cannot be an authority in this discussion. Unless maybe it has become a convention. So,
and I'm sure there. Oh, my miracle. And I'm a or say, CJ, Sheffield Mam. Sheffield Mam, or the new authority, are you telling me there, into a debate or one now, you take all the food and eat all? No. There one more authority, no. You exercise it in the way that would be conformity with standards. Oh, a debate or one into ATB. And before ATB, you put my friend catch and there, Mama, a debate or chef, you know, me Fabi. That is how we go about it. The fact that there's a mandate for you does not mean you should not operate within the common goal of the party. That is, let's let's bring this one together. There's NEC, there's the parliamentary caucus, there's the former flag bearer. Let me also get his input that this is what we want to do. Do you second or you don't?
But you listen to Oselu Ketia, and he explains, there's been extensive consultation and decision and Utie. In fact, Yabakuti Honorable Muntaka Mubarak, also Ekasaka. Then Honorable Sam George came out to explain certain things in detail as to Nientia Amufose, Amobo Enjo Sa Anamoya Amayukuno Etno. And then he even brings back the fact, as far back as 18th November 2021, the then leader of the minority caucus, Extra Kata the Koma, the then General Secretary, just the Sibun Ketia, proposing certain near maybe SSA minority caucus, including whether or not to elect their leaders. Sakratano, Yaka say, as he puts it, has been ignored. But Yankofa, Honorable Muntaka Mubarak, Nafi, we will listen briefly to Sam George and then we'll come back and continue the discussion.
Were not the decision of the party. Our party as NDC has about 4 decision-making group structures. First, the Congress, where all delegates meet to take decision. Second is the National Executive Committee, that's NEC. And then third is the Functional Executive Committee. It is when this group take decision, then you get the General Secretary and the principal officers implement. Then we also have the Council of Elders, even though our constitution says that they are advisory. Sometimes, periodically, they also give directions and then the party tries to implement. We are firm, because I serve as on FEC, I serve on NEC, I go to Council of Elders as an observer, and I'm also on the political committee as an observer. Congress, all of us as members of parliament are members of Congress. And the minority leader is also on all these levels. At no such meeting was there any agenda to discuss this. So it is clear that it is a letter, yes, written by the General Secretary, but the decision may be just the decision of some few people in the party. And we believe that our party should sit up, because Article 55 of the 1992 Constitution is very clear. It says that everything that we do must follow democratic principles. So we want to urge the General Secretary, and the most shocking part of it is that we were never consulted. I mean, I heard some of the officers saying that some elders were sent to talk to us. I'll be very happy to be mentioned which elder was sent to me to talk to me, because nobody spoke to me. And without casting any insinuation, and also creating doubt on the capability of our colleagues, Honorable Atufosin, Honorable Kwame Agoja, and Honorable Amako Fibua. These are our colleagues. I mean, we've been working very closely together, those of you who report from this house. And myself, Honorable Abeji, and the leader himself, Honorable Abeji, we will have to be grateful to this caucus. Any day they decide that, oh, we've had enough of you, maybe we want to change direction, we want to change energy, we want to change steam, we would be thankful for the opportunity given us. Because how were we put into office? I'll just recap. In 2021, the party led by the then national chairman, Honorable Ofuso Ampofo, and the general secretary came to our caucus meeting. They came and the names were sealed, so suggested names. And I remember very well, the first question they asked the general caucus was, do you want to retain your leadership or you want to change them? And there was a row, applause, that no, we want to maintain them. Even that, they said they wanted to be sure, because there were some other names that were also coming up. Each regional caucus was asked to go back and having the names that had come up, consider what their choice, seal it in an envelope and give it to the national party, which is exactly what happened. So it was taken to the political committee, it was summarized, and then there was another caucus meeting to announce the decision from the various 16 regional caucuses. I want to say that this is consultation, and this is the caucus electing its leaders. I'm sorry to say that you have youth organizers in our party, they meet to elect their leaders. Women organizers meet to elect their leaders. And it is shocking for parliamentarians to be told that leaders are choosing for them. I have served, this was my third term in the leadership. There was not a single time that I was written to that I've been appointed as so and so to serve in any capacity in parliament. And we know the natural justice, and the laws of our country. If you cannot write a letter to appoint, how can you write a letter to disappoint? We don't want this controversy at this time, or a letter to dismiss. Yes, I want to also remind some of the officers about our 1992 Constitution, Article 296, where when discretion is given you, that discretion, how it should be used. Exercise. So how should be exercised? So we don't want to create enmity among us unnecessarily, but we believe that the right process should be done.
Okay, Honorable Mutaka Mubarak, the former minority chief whip, and I no. We na Honorable Sam George, MP for Ningo Pram Pram. Ebra Wakasa, good morning Ghana, on Minia Penny Randy Abbey, and also so yeah de kan edema ono. Now yembra back to studio na fi entering komo. Minia Anthony Nupenu, a Greater Accra regional organizer of the NDC. But my main connection ho na fi Nixon. My main na fi fa wanu si na fi membra Tony ho.
Yes. CJ, say consultation is very, very important. Let them know. As a party that wants to be taken seriously towards the 2024 election, this is not the way to go.
But Utie Honorable Mutaka, one statement that he made, that if you don't write a letter to appoint, then you have no right to write a letter to disappoint.
Yes.
And now to sack somebody.
Disengage them. Yeah, but for me, I think that it was even bad coming from him. I think you are party to the suit. International and Kasempo. Yes. Should have allowed Honorable Advocate to be doing the
talking.
Yeah, the talking. But the problem of NDC now is that the party as a whole needs to be on the treatment table. This is not what we expect from them. You see, Ghanaians have come of age. And you need to project, yourself into the shoes of everyone and see that if a decision here and take it, how would the people take it? And that is the problem they are facing. And the turmoil is still there. There is still heat in the kitchen. And on the way, Jahon also could cool off with the family or Canada. As a good leader, you need to sit down, make sure that the issue will go down. with them no, then all the
well, I'm saying Uncle Canada, one former President Mahama and the UK.
Oh, then only just take care of and no, any care of even the way book ticket there or there or Canada, go enjoy some days off with the family. But the fact of the matter is that nanka won't pay for no, if it was not a coup, and the political score to punish these two, the best thing would have been that they would sit down and address this issue, solve everything before they leave.
Okay.
But the same old NDC anymore no. Assembly by no, the two most important personalities in the party now. We just go. Just so they will catch the rank and file there. We don't care about your feelings. We don't care about whatever happens to you. We have taken our decision. So be it.
Next time, that's it. Tony, Akwaba.
Yeah.
Bibi aboko there.
About there.
I feel in share, right?
Yeah, share.
I feel sharper.
I think what I say.
Okay.
Yeah,
Amen. Yet, the reason coming from the national chairman, say party no more restructuring, but the timing for this decision, of course, and if you come on, per se, the baby say, is it about time? Say MPs, ankasa betua about the ye. One more leaders but the timing for this decision, Tony, that was saying.
See, that's not much here. It's here for now. My chairman, say, at the party, I say, dear, and Moose and some dear, and no chair say, or Brabona, and I'm 1 or 2 hours, we are see dear. Any day, any hour, any minute, be bow up with him.
Yeah.
Ada papa and abonne. Na nti wo plan your life no fatu adwin ti said sanya mani etuwa sena obeji nafa nti emre bia ye be ma odi brebi say kita no the first thing I say about adwin say we a caretaker nti adi e betimi agi on same at any time, so you must prepare for that day. When you are prepared for it eba man in your and we prepare for it you can't question time. You can't question propriety. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because nkwana ukita crampo na enya media. Internet day God can call any of us here. As I sit here, I can be shut off. Who are you to question God said? Is this the right time to shut the life of this young man as he was even sitting in a live studio? Hasn't it happened before? So why should say if you say to me I am and nipa ene de mao a untimi fa ore enhye nipa mu gise nyame nkwa na obetimi de ore ahye ni mu ona betimi hu mobo I get him.
Yes.
Nipa ene di brebi ama any hour you should be expecting say san nipa na betimi asisa na awi ayi. The impropriety of time doesn't come in here because of our way of doing things.
But in a human institution, no, so me the debre bi share won sa na me ba person me gi debre no every one say ma at least there should be some form of engagement. So funny me say adwuma no awoye no o ye ne ye pa, but I feel person yes sane me
me see nipa untimi fa ore enhye nipa mu because nipa suni ban eye Nema Bibri. To this very issue, look, for me, I will state and I've stated my position clearly on this and say, looking at Amanyoku ayene anamwa ye tu say ye de pe to me the Accra Ghana for. Ye bibia ye bia ya na montu ye num kasa ye ni ye nyina no enu be magana for crime. Say NDC as Amanyoku no well prepared say ye di tumi mo mo ni atochima organa bia no on betimi atinitini ema nyina enya asitinapa enti all the time menya akwanya any party for ekasa e wo fam ho no kire mo say aha no ye to aba no enti wo sorry na wo ni womantenfo ye basa edidi atema say NDC na wo say no ha constituency, region, national, all of us. Me style of leadership entwe ye mini nipa ndini ye mini nipa nkasa ye mini nipa anuboaboa enko ye. How will people see the NDC as well organized in the Greater Accra region? Say comes December 7, 2024. So our lifestyle must inure to the growth and the benefit of the NDC. So any decision you're taking, we must do the involvement of the people to be able to ameliorate any after reactions. Because decision being in what we take here, you get 100% support. But always make sure say you are above the 70% ratio. And that will give you comfort. So decision, you're very comfortable with the large majority of the people. And the decision be a bar, nipa be me, and especially on decision form do no be no. Now say 1 or 2 steps have not been right. And then now to say the mode of communication, the mode of announcement, has not been the right way, and it hasn't served a good purpose. And at the very time communication is so bad, I see it as very unfortunate. Say the intimate places seriousness on the current training issue as to COVID audit report. So what was our rush? What was the intent and purpose? Say emra abaina upese otunu the chida fema asem amuye du eda omoso I say Ghana for be bobo me nyina ya attention me course no that time na wo political party a opet me no wodi wo asem a sebi enfa dokunu eni me kontu obi eponso edi betu dwama e discuss.
That's a time and then
it shows some level of unseriousness that I have been very, very uncomfortable with. But that mistake has already been committed. I think we have lived with it for about 2-3 days. We hope that today ends it and it will die down. Next week it will not reoccur and give us any distance. But you see, it is part of the what the NDC should expect, because that you voted for it. I've had time to ask people, say, one of the major campaigner Moody Peja era as educator was that fearless, bold, and courageous leader. So if fearless, bold, and courageous decisions have been taken, why are you complaining? Why are you complaining?
We
voted for fearless, bold, and courageous leader. So a decision that you will not be comfortable with will come with a fearless, bold, and a courageous approach. Again, nobody have said Honorable Harold and Idrisu-led leadership has failed. That has not been the yardstick to which are changing the buyer. Obiansu question the new crop of persons Sayediaba. Some will continue from wherever they are living it. Some are competent and some soon. But everybody talking about modalities, approach, timing, and all things. All this is what we are talking about. It takes only courageous leader to look into the face of somebody performing and say, be sound. And that is the same educator you voted for.
But the reason National Chairman they must say the 2024 election near a big play out by economy and energy. The reason for the change in the leadership. Who as a key party.
Main kasa enfa to say me boom national chairman in tia, but me reason me find people because I think at that very moment, he tried very hard to give some reason, but the major reason to this whole change is something he will never put up in public domain. That will be in the consumption belly of party members, knowing very well what the crux of the matter is. It is not for public consumption. He has to find something that will be able to meet the public expectation. But the level of awareness, the level of education, the level of sensitivity Ghanaians attach to our daily political discourse and our party movements, you know, there's a large majority that will not buy into that reason. And everybody has the right not to buy into it. Economy cannot be the yardstick of a change in parliament, because the very front bench you are changing. Are you telling me, are you questioning the prowess of Haruna's knowledge in economics? You can't question his prowess in economics, because if I don't know at all, his first degree is economics. And he's well versed in economic issues. Haruna is well versed in energy issues. Haruna is well versed in development in terms of road infrastructure, whatever. He's a man of all shades, man of all faces. Honorable Afeji is one of the astute chartered accountants in Ghana that you can find. Are you getting me?
Yes.
Muntaka is a land economist. He has done a lot of project, whatever. Are you getting me? So that argument, to me, I won't hold it so hard. Atu is an astute finance brain. Are you getting me? Atu has always complimented the front bench in making sure everything they do is in sync. Are you getting me? Maya Nyenyama and Maya Kanyama, Eddie feud, unnecessary feud, beba between the Atu leadership and Haruna leadership. They have never had any problem. They had never had any problem. Say you pay obi obeka energy some dia adabraka. Mibra Bua. Any John Jinapo, who speaks more better when it comes to energy. It is argument in I don't want us to even go there, because some of these explanations people will come with an angular, a lot of feud, but
this is what the national chairman is.
And I'm saying, I would have wished he didn't make such comparisons for people to start punching, because knowing certain prowess of people in the terms of the areas he's talking about, you know, there are people well versed and people well tuned. So when you bring it, Angela M1T, he is the national chairman. He has made a change. You have every right to make the change. Everybody is comfortable with the change, but only the modality, the mode of communication, the way it came as a palace school. I said 1980s move up under PNDC. 1 o'clock every appointee back continue GBC 1. Yes, that is where they do the changes. Till about 12:50, 12:55 an hour per radio now. The first news that have been changing since list no one. It's like one of those modalities. We all live above it. It's ensure Atorenchema Abba. As political leaders are. Yenim say a kwina yenam suno atorenche beba or how beba, we have every strategy to meet it when it comes this way. So it's part of the abloye this week, and I think we have comfortably managed it to this far. You think so? Even though
when there's deep crack in a minority caucus of parliament,
even though
60 Jinahana, 70
yes, they've shown their fierce disagreement to leadership decision and communication, but they've not shown fierce disagreement to whoever is coming and whoever is going. Next week, Yami Adumna, Ochina, Monday, Tuesday, they are coming. They will come out of that meeting with a well-poised and united members of parliament into the third session. Okay. And I believe we will take it from there.
Tony, we say you share the issue of regional balance and also national chairman Eka Hwasem. Now, my issue is, say, you can regional balance. Ube place at forcing central region, Amakufibua, western region, from say western central, the say the same people. Boa. It is a can regional balance pa. Atu forcing Amakofi boa Central Western. I don't know. Anthony.
You see? Hey, Sempani. I could check already more on up on anything with you. Sempani, CG. I send me uncle. Papa and Bisano. Who bet it to my brother pay that. You see,
Tony,
I still consider Ghana as a 10 region. And I'll consider it so because that is the most composed Ghana that you can find. As for this political split of regions here, it's only bringing a certain tribalism and ethnicity composition. Regions near but it in the parliament do 230 because no the kind of angle when there's a group of ethnic dimension in a certain way and there's a group they'll be calling for a certain split of a region. I will speak to the 10 regions, which is a well composed region. When you come to the coast, from the Votarian block to the Western block, is almost the same. Only the difference has been the tone of our dialect and the change in dialect. Until far from the West Central and the Western block, it's purely Fanti.
Yes, the same.
When somebody speaks in Zima, you hear Fanti in it. Ubika Hunter, Fanti. Until Fanti is the biggest Akan language on that block. I get it. Now, back from Accra into Volta, Dangbe and Ewe, there are similarities. Major similarities. Because we share history in Ukraine, the Dan and the Dan family that bring the Dangbis are the same people that emanate the Ewes. Then Ufa for a central, the central part of the country from the eastern Ashanti to Bronga Hafula. Predominantly is Akan, and Asante Akan, Bunu Akan, Achim, Ekwapim Akan. Meaning the same this thing. Then when you take it from the Bupe to the upper regions, is the northern languages are the same. I get it. So when you want to do a regional balance in a limited portfolio, therefore you need to consider it. So you take the northern center, you take the central part, then you take the coast. Then you put the similarities and then you are able to get it very fair. But the current selection, Edahui, is 4 South, 1 Mid. 4 South, 1 Mid. Atu, Bua, Doyo, Govins. Then Ahmed, who is the Mid.
Yes.
So this explanation.
So what happens to more?
So this explanation highly untenable, and it will sit well with many people. People have even drawn religious dimension in it, which I don't want to fancy. There are lapses. There are lapses in the decision. There are lapses in the explanation. There are lapses in the communication. We all have accepted it, and we all have to live with it. The danger that it will pose greatly is that we reverse our decision, and it will be more disastrous than maintaining it and working around it to make sure that you.
But your reversing decision, that
would have been more calamitous.
Really?
And you would have destroyed the party if you have reversed it than maintaining it and working around it to bring everybody back to the table. I get in. And which I think largely, we are above 80% getting everybody on board. Which I know, say, Tuesday meeting, if we in the year, the rest of the 20% will come on board.
Okay.
And make sure, say, there is serenity, there is safety, there is cohesion, there is larger collaboration going forward, and everybody will pick the fault. Like I say, okay, I'm sorry, it's only getting to the table and telling your friends, well, I dream Bonnie Biantechi, ye per se yen ni pape mua, but anamontuno edi in Sembebre about a lot of thinking abim. I'm sorry, let's forgive each other because there's a bigger responsibility ahead of us. There's a bigger expectation. That is what it is. Not this position, ayekite year or position. Utinational we akakabin sema. What are you doing to better the life of the people? Okay,
but I say Anthony Nupenu, Greater Accra Regional Organizer of the NDC. Nixon, yeah, my member of a quick one on Tony Akasisi and Nafi, you make progress.
CJ, now me share regional balance. Now I'm even surprised maybe I na Tony de Fufafa. This is a party that constantly keeps telling people that for us as MPP, we use people and we damn them. Trying so hard to place us at a place that we will not be accepted by the people in the north. But today, baby ordering them, trying to dribble and then place the ball squarely like Lionel Messi. You know, it is problematic. And everywhere in the northern region now, they are not happy with this decision. What does it tell you? That's how I would accept one accept. Them know. But look at what you are doing to them today. And within the week, you interviewed the Tamale Central chairman.
Constituency chairman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
In fact, he used unprintable words on radio. I don't want us to.
Oh, no. But it's all the feeling of the people in the constituency or in the northern part of this country. It is bad. Why is Alhaji Ahmed Ibrahim still there? Why? Because he was fronting your campaign. Holistically, if you wanted to change based on Wanakasa one strategy going into 2024, comfort, what does he bring on the table? Then probably maybe, but you could have even replaced her also. And then Ahmed Ibrahim, then we will know that this is not targeting certain people. We should move away from this personal score of Minyawo and Yadrina. I want to target you. This is what is happening to them. And the earlier they go to the treatment table to get solutions, because we don't want them to come in 2025, they will go Supreme Court. We don't want that. It won't say when they lose out. Now we will
COVID.
It is because
let me see how you talk about it.
It is because no, Inima, CJ, I felt sad for them in 2020. That how are they going to market themselves? Then few days to the election, and I take people there, they didn't even collect their own results. Now we elect one, then you come on board. Your first major decision is to poke fire into the heart of the party faithful. Then are you telling me and the rest of the Ghanaians are you credible opposition? The Ochinebi, watching on 2024, probably maybe 2030, 2034, and I'll be them. Can we consider you?
Okay, Nixon, and that's him say MPs, because according to Honorable Harun Idrisu, 18th November 2021, and minority MPs, Omotro proposal, the then General Secretary, Honorable Johnson Esiedun Ketia, saying, Komo person Omoyen Sachayebi, a Juma minority form Fasudu Omojuma. Amongst the proposals, the proposal to elect their own leaders as minority caucus, but that proposal has never seen the light of day. And Ede Abira 2023. Moving forward, should MPs be allowed to elect or select their own leadership? That's the main question.
CJ, I think that's the right call. Based on what Honorable Muntaka said, it tells you that even though they wanted to carry the same people forward, the then national chairman made them aware that there are certain names that will pop up. And if probably we can also consider, then it's okay, let's go to our regional caucuses and make that determination. And it's good. You see, by so doing, you know, everyone is at peace with the process. I think the best, most cases, football, we allow the players to vote for their captain and junior captain, and then their vice captain.
And I'm saying, basic school, JHS,
yeah, it is the same way we should be doing. That the people who are coming to lead this group, you know, let them get involved. I think that if the parliamentary caucus were involved in this decision, there wouldn't have been any uproar. Probably maybe one or two might not be happy, but then the bigger picture is that we were given the space, the time, the needed grounds for our input to also be heard. And them decisioning by eliminating them and then telling them that this is what you have to do. Look at how Sam George even put it. To hear it on radio makes it even bad. It's like you don't even want them close to even determine who can lead them. That is why it is important that you will feel part. Whatever course and accept the school, we should engage them. By so doing, we will know their weaknesses and their strengths and the way to go. Next time, that's it. Tony.
Yes, sir.
Is this the way to go? MPs
Before then, a release from Alaji Mama Idrisu, Chairman Council of Elders, Abba, calling on all of us to even further stop commentary on the issue. So, press statement by the NDC Council of Elders.
Anapaya.
Yes, Anapaya, they've released an information. So, I think that is painful to Omun too. And Omu taking immediate steps to expeditiously act on the petition from the minority and then take steps to bring all of us.
Let me take opportunity now for immediate release. Press statement by the NDC Council of Elders on recent changes in NDC parliamentary caucus leadership. The Council of Elders of the NDC acknowledges receipt of a petition from some members of the NDC parliamentary caucus regarding recent appointments to leadership positions. The council has initiated steps to act expeditiously on the petition and related matters. While this process is underway, the council urges our honorable members of parliament, party leadership at all levels, and all concerned persons to refrain from further public pronouncements on the matter in the larger interest of our great NDC. This is a time to be circumspect in order not to play into the hands of our detractors. The council assures the rank and file of the party of an early and principled resolution of the issues, and ultimately the NDC will emerge stronger and more united. We urge all members of the NDC to rededicate themselves to working for victory in the presidential and parliamentary elections in 2024 to alleviate the suffering of the Ghanaian people. Signed, Alhaji Mahama Idrisu, Chairman, National Council of Elders. Tony,
yes. So, I pause.
Now, the Auditor General's report from March 2020 to June 2022. Yebedo Mwensu, the Chief Gear Force, and stay with us. Yaba.